What's going on today, everybody? So, first thing when I got home, we got a couple of parts deliveries, so we're just going to check these out quick. I think I already kind of know what they are. There we go. Vibrant braided hose that we've been waiting for like 3 weeks for the 05 fuel line. So we're going to start making some fuel lines. I was just trying to say number 8 on it. It looks like number 8. Number 8 braided line. Number 8 equals 1/2 inch. So that's what we're going to use. This next one is, I know from our man See here, look at all these. Tasty cakes, baby. These are from our buddy Michael Garofalo, where we get all of our parts from. We got a whole slew of parts coming for the first gen. Obviously, everything is from him. A nice little business card here. But this is what came in this little package. The fuel pressure sensor port, 1/2 inch push lock on each side. So maybe we'll get ready to do that today too. What's going on, guys? So we're actually filming this at quite a different time. It's actually the next morning from this video, but I was chatting with one of you guys last night, and he actually told me about a slight modification that needs to be done to this steering shaft that we put in. Apparently this collar right here needs to slide up against this other part to eliminate the actual slip section from the shaft. Apparently on the inside underneath here, and I'll show you guys that there's actually a slip section built into the actual column side. And what happened with him was he was driving along, and because there's some slip in this and some slip in the other one, actually came apart on him. So what he said, he actually called Borgeson, and they told him that this actually needs to get moved up into that section. So we might actually end up needing to do that. I just wanted to make a slight correction to this video, that way you guys know. As always, you guys definitely need to actually read the instructions, see what the instruction says, and if you have any questions, call Borgeson yourself as well, you know, just to confirm or double check anything. Kind of hard to see, but the other section he mentioned that has some slip in it is basically this section right here in the steering shaft, or the column, I guess you would call it. Alright guys, finally got like a super nice day out. It's not really too hot, nice light breeze, probably about like 70 degrees here. So what I started off doing, a little bit of work on the first gen. To continue removal of the transmission lines, I basically got a couple buckets set up in some low spots, like right here. Basically cut a couple of the lines, just lopped them right in half. Started to let all the fluid drain out of the lines first, like I mentioned, in a low spot. That way it tries to all carry there. Cut one up by the cooler up there, because the cooler is going to hold some fluid. So got those draining before I attempt to totally remove them. That way they don't get fluid everywhere. So once that's all wrapped up and we remove the lines and stuff, we'll start working our way towards the pan. We'll get the pan dropped, let the fluid drain out of that. Alright guys, while we were waiting for the transmission fluid to drain, we started working on a little bit of some motor stuff. Now you can see I have the number 1 and number 6 valve cover off. Basically what I wanted to do before I took this engine damper harmonic balancer off is I wanted to try and find top dead center, especially before we pull the pump. Before we really open up anything, I wanted to make sure we definitely had number 1 top dead center on the compression stroke. There's a fly on the camera. So for you first gen guys, you know that there's this little plunger on this side, and the camshaft, oh, and there it goes. The camshaft actually, let me try and put this thing back in here. The camshaft actually has a little dimple, and this basically, this little nipple tit, if you will, basically can find that, and you can push that in. Now a lot of times, and like mine was completely frozen. Like I can't even push that back in there right now. I've tried. So really what I wanted to do was a foolproof way, and I know you can do it by looking at the valves, but sometimes that gets confusing, so I really wanted to do this, try and help you guys out as well. Now, the little bit of time that I spent, basically I took this off. There's two Torx heads that really just hold this off. Now, seeing that my whole front's apart, I basically could stand, lay on top of here, put a 15 millimeter on the damper, rotate it clockwise, which is the way you want to spin it, and put my finger back there and really wait for that dimple to come around. Now, to confirm that you have top dead center on cylinder number 1 is by pulling number 1 and number 6 valve cover, so you know you have the correct top dead center, because you can be 180 degrees out. I rotated the engine around, got that exactly where I wanted it, marked the balancer, and what you can do just to confirm, okay, so that's loose and that's loose. If both intake and exhaust rockers are loose, then that is the correct top dead center. Now, you would see in the back here, which I can't really, the first gen bodies are too far to reach. Those are both tight. Now, what you can do is you can spin that another 180 degrees, and then the number 1s would be tight, number 6s would be loose. So basically what you want to do is then rotate that another 180 degrees, get that back on number 1 top dead center. 180 out would be number 6 top dead center. So going forward now, I basically know that I can put my new engine harmonic balancer on, mark that top dead center before I even do anything else. I know that the motor is set, so I can check the valve lash on everything, and I know even when I pull the pump off, not that we're really changing anything, all I'm really doing is pulling that off, changing an O-ring out, putting it back on, that I know everything is top dead center when we pull the front cover, everything apart. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out. A lot of times this can really get confusing. A lot of people actually break this off in the cam lobe if you're spinning too fast, but it also looks like here somebody may or may have already had that off, so we're gonna need to get another O-ring for that, clean this up, actually make sure this functions, get that back going in, but hopefully that'll help some of you guys out. I actually totally forgot that I wanted to show you guys the dimple hole that I was talking about. I know it's extremely hard to see, but you can kind of see there the two Torx head bolts that hold in the plunger, that little gasket O-ring there, and then the dimple that's on the back of the cam gear. That's what you're really looking and feeling for while you're doing this. It looks really cramped, but your hand can fit back there. Alrighty guys, current status. Transmission lines are completely out of the transmission as well. Just letting that drain a little bit further. Got to clean up the pan. We managed to not make too bad of a mess, but definitely not a clean process by any means. The gasket that was currently in it was a cork gasket. This is a Felpro number that's actually, it's not quite the wire-lined gasket, kind of like the third gens have, but it is a pretty solid rubbery gasket, but not really flimsy. It feels really good, so I feel like we'll have pretty good luck with this. A new transmission filter, so that'll be going in shortly after I get the old stuff out. Just waiting a little bit longer, like I said, for it to drain. Also got a chance to get the old factory, well, I don't even know if it's factory or not. Somebody said it was factory, it might have been aftermarket, the auxiliary cooler. Got a little bit of a nut collection going on in there, but that is out of the way. Had these, I don't even know, there was self-tappers up here. There's only one self-tapper on the other side. I don't even know how that thing didn't bounce down, but it's out of there now. We're gonna continue on with the underneath, try and get that at least cleaned up, sealed up. Got a lot of cleaning to do on that pan, so we're just gonna get to it here before we lose all daylight. Alrighty guys, one last final look, one last final wipe down. Got the pan all cleaned up, got the bolts all cleaned up. Put her back on. Just a quick glimpse underneath the truck here via flashlight, seeing that we lost all light yet again. I understand these aren't like the most exciting videos in the world, watching me, you know, I'm just trying to knock out things on that thing so we can really get to the fun stuff. The image in the back of my mind is just putting the wheels and tires on it and doing a big burnout. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to on this thing. But buying a used vehicle, basically this is the kind of stuff that you got to do. You know, a coworker, actually, I can't take credit for it, but you know, you got one or the other. It's parts or payments. You can go out and buy a nice newer vehicle and not have to really do much to it, or you can buy, you know, a project like this and then have some parts that you're going to need to put into it, and it's time consuming, you know, but it is what it is. I did actually get a update from the paint guy. It probably won't be this weekend that it's done. It's probably going to be the following weekend that I hope everything's done. So between now and then, we're really going to have to knock out the new fuel lines, fix the return system on the fuel side, and kind of button up a couple other little things. Get down to my man Dunfab Motorsports down in South New Jersey to get the wheels and tires mounted up, not only for the 05 but for the first gen as well. I'm hoping to do that soon. I'm just trying to fit it in. Ryan's wedding is actually this Saturday as well, so probably no truck progress made Saturday just because we got to help him out. We got to do a bunch of stuff with him to kind of help him out, and he's here helping me all the time, so you really got to, you know, that's the other thing too, guys. Like, if you have a buddy who's helping you, you really got to be there for him when he needs you. But like I said, I was in touch with my man Michael Garofalo, Garofalo Enterprises. We did order a whole bunch of stuff for the first gen, not only maintenance wise but some performance stuff, so we're gonna be going through that as well. I did figure out the governor shaft, I believe is what is called, where the fuel's leaking. It's actually an O-ring behind that copper washer that flattens out basically over time. I did some research. It looks like people are even replacing these things at like 100,000 miles. So this truck obviously has quite a bit more than that on it. So we're gonna fix that. What else? The other thing that I want to mention too, I read a couple comments about why we're not taking the time to really clean everything up. We are gonna do that kind of closer towards the end. Right now we're just trying to bang out each project day by day, but we are gonna go through, get all of the, it looks like the left front of this thing was like buried in like dirt and sand. Everything else is kind of like bare. It's not anywhere near as bad, but the left front, probably because it's two-wheel drive. I don't know if somebody got into a bad spot once in its life, but we are gonna go through and really power wash and clean up the frame. I'm just trying to remove all the excess crap right now. But I do want to clarify one thing. The whole point of this truck was to try and get it ready and get it on the track and kind of go through and have it be done with the 05 to go to shows, to go to track events, things like that, to race it this year. Getting it like show quality, show ready. I'm not really going to take the time to say take the bed off. Basically, if it were to come down to it, I probably would have the cab off, the bed off, the motor out. Oh, my light went away. There it is, there it came back. So if I had the shop, the facility, and pretty much unlimited funds, I would have probably turned this into a frame up, everything disassembled, but number one, we don't have the space. Number two, we definitely don't have the funds, and we're gonna clean it up as much as we can without hindering progress and using the truck. You know, I am not going to take things apart further just to clean further, I guess. I know, I'm rambling like an SOB right now, I know. But Jesse's truck, I'm hoping to have Jesse's truck wrapped up and done. That way you can come get it out of the driveway here. But that's going to do it, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.